Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is I, Curtis Selby, your tired midnight blogger. What blogs in this case at exactly 4 p.m. You should be so impressed. Today, I have as a guest on my channel the faithful bird woman of YouTube, as Stephen has dubbed her, Connie Cleary, who many of you will know from her bird videos, from her hostings of late night radio streams, and as a wrench moderator in many of the more upscale channels, and I hope, including my own. I hope I was smart enough to make you a moderator.
Yep.
So,
hello.
All one of you help me in welcoming Connie Cleary. Yay! How has your weekend been going?
Good so far, thank you. How about you?
You're welcome. Oh, I had to work today, but we won't complain too much about that because I don't work many Sundays, so once in a while is okay. But it sure would have been nicer to have lounged around and drank coffee and pat my dog on the head.
Right.
So, I guess I will dive in. How did you develop an interest in birds? Have you loved them since you were a child, or how did that come about?
I grew up with them. I've been a forever mama for 50 years for birds.
Oh,
and
my
plus
goodness.
A cat and a dog. And
Right?
various of brothers and sisters on the forever side.
I got you. Wow. And I also know that you are moderating television shows, and you told me a little bit about this, or not television shows. The tired is real, fellows. I'm sorry about that, but old time radio streams. You had told me a little bit in the backstage about that. Could you tell my one or two listeners how did you get into the old time TV radio shows?
I grew up with them, and I was introduced to who actually has that channel, the Late Late Horror Show, Dino.
Yeah.
Through Janet and James's The Mummy and the Monkey. My very first YouTube and Facebook horror host. He'd be retail by day, horror host by night. Yes, I'm a horror geek.
That's fantastic. I need to looking at this. This is something I just really need to watch some of. This looks fantastic.
They're like with the. Go ahead.
They're hokey. Well, that's the best. I know we talked a little bit backstage about Mystery Science Theater and Riff Tracks. Hokey things can be amazing. This Christmas special just looks fantastic. I'm just saying.
They're good people.
That's cool. You got your little devil puppet or whatever that is.
That's Cliff Jablonski.
Cliff Jablonski.
Yeah.
All right. There's so many people I need to learn about. When AI takes over, I'll bet that's fun.
Oh, okay, that's scary.
So you grew up with these things. I don't want to pry too much or get too deep into personal stuff, but maybe tell us a little bit about how you grew up with birds and horror shows, and what was your youth like?
Very entertaining.
Well, there's balance in the universe because mine was very boring. That's fantastic. So I know you. Yes. No, I'm sorry. This is where I'm going to be great at interviewing people because I'm always I have a knack for interrupting them right as they're starting to get saying the interesting thing. So, but anyway, what were you going to say?
What was the question?
The question was your upbringing was interesting. So, like, did your parents had birds? I suspect, or maybe some relative or friend had birds, and you listened to the radio at night or in the evenings or whatever.
I was young. I just hear things, grew up with it, watching it, especially on the TV, especially if they're like if they were into the series, like on TV, there were adaptations. That's how I learned how to associate that they were actually on radio, and those were some of the actual shows they would do or whatever.
Yeah. See, I did not know until I came across the show that you are affiliated with. I had no idea. I should have, but I had no idea that Gunsmoke was a radio show.
Yeah.
So that's incredible. Now, of course, it wasn't. Go ahead.
And see, yeah, the Shadow was too.
Oh yeah, yeah. I do remember the Shadow.
Yeah. A lot of people don't realize a lot of them were originally on the radio.
Right.
That was the TV of their day.
Oh yeah. Oh, my dad, he tells me about, or told, he's still alive, but he has dementia. But
right.
Back when he was with it, he would talk about how Granddad brought home a radio one day, and his favorite show was The Shadow. And I guess he scared his dad to bits one day because he was, I don't know, 5-6 years old, something like that. And he was a kid, so he wrote this note: "The shadow knows what you've done. The shadow sees," and he left it in the barn, and Granddad found it. And he was like loading up guns and looking, to see if someone was stalking him and stuff. Fun times. But yes.
Yeah. Yeah, also the thing with Fibber McGee and Molly, Gildersleeve, Burns and Allen was even on radio too.
Okay. So, maybe I should be, but I'm not familiar with those last people.
Well, Dino has a second channel. It's called Dino's Duck Soup.
Dino.
And he has a lot of the comedy on there.
Okay. And that's the Late Horror Show, is that right?
Yeah, that's his second channel. Yeah. Late Horror Show is his first. Second one is his Dino's Duck Soup. That's his second channel. That's his sister channel.
Dino's Ducks?
Duck.
I'm probably not hearing you correctly. Dino's. No, I'm not hearing you correctly. Here, let me stop sharing. If you want to bring that up, I'll be happy to put it right up there. But I'm not sure.
Let me see if I can get up. I put it in the duck soup. There we go.
Duck go. Oh, duck soup.
Duck goose. Duck soup. Yeah.
Duck. Okay, gotcha. Okay.
All right. Okay, here. There you go.
Ah. Ah. Okay.
Yeah, that's the channel for a second. That's the sister channel.
Nope, that's not what I want to do. Watching a tired blogger stumble around with his lack of computer skills. Tired blogging. Dino Duck Soup. Okay, I will just do it this way then. I like the look of that. Okay. Dino's Duck Soup. Quack quack.
Yep, that's it.
And that's okay. So he's got the westerns, the shadow knows. That's fantastic. I think one of my ex-girlfriends may have listened to this. We won't talk very much about that either.
That's fine.
Okay, cool beans.
Yeah.
And so you got on into that community and you were listening, and you say that this was the first one that you became a moderator on. Is that correct?
That's the second one.
Oh,
the first one is with the Late Late Horror Show. That's how I became a mod on.
All right. And then he's been taking some time off, and you've been the one actually presenting them. Is that correct?
It's just the Friday night movie nights. He does his own thing on that.
Gotcha.
I told him I do help out with helping keep out the chat with me and a few other wrenches, helping him with keeping an eye on things, because he has 3 rules: no politics, religion, and we have to be kind to each other. If you don't, you're going to get kicked out.
Right on. I probably should talk less about politics on my channel, but I'm just so really goofy. But my only rule that I've established is we've got to be respectful to each other.
Yeah. And
I haven't yet blocked anybody or kicked anyone out or anything, but there have been times once in a while when I've been like, what you're saying can at least be construed as rude.
Right.
But so far, I'm still small enough and maybe lucky enough that I haven't had a lot of trolls come on or anything. That may change if I keep talking about politics, but
right.
Neither here nor there.
Yeah, with his channels, everyone gets along. If you don't, everyone disagrees on things. Yeah, let's get it. But we're here just to have a good company.
Mm-hmm.
Enjoy everyone. Enjoy what he's presenting and everything else.
Mm-hmm. And it is really interesting. You can almost feel like you're back there in whatever that time was, 40s, 50s, 60s, whenever. And it's interesting to hear the cigarette commercials. Like, most of my life, those have really not been much of a thing. But not that I smoke or anything, but it's just there's a little bit of a nostalgia there.
With Kreml.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And all the other old time commercials. He keeps those in there for part of the history of
exactly. Past. I won't go too deep into this, but one of the things I don't like about how we're basically purging stuff out of our history, sure, there's stuff that we don't like in the past, but we need to be able to talk about that. We need to be able to see it. So I love that he actually includes those in there.
And there's
go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
No, that's all. I will eventually get this down. It's why I keep doing it. If I don't do it, I'll never get any good at it.
Well,
Hey, hold on. You go ahead and say whatever you want. I'm going to be in my happy place while I look at Vivian Lee.
Well, Dino takes time and cleans up what he can.
That's cool.
On some of these streams. You may hear some crackling. That's part of the nostalgia.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I have nothing against crackling at all. My only real experience until I'd come across this channel and I got introduced to it through you, because like I said, I think my ex-girlfriend may have listened to it, but I didn't listen to it very much myself, sadly. So that might be why we're not still together. But long and the short, there was mostly when I was a kid, I read, or my parents would watch TV. I didn't watch as much of it because they controlled it, and the adult shows, frankly, mostly bored me. except for the news. But I was a weird kid. But my sister had a radio, and sometimes, I told you backstage that I had bad insomnia for years. That started when I was a kid. And sometimes before we went to sleep, we would listen to something called, and then this was before the comedy show, but it was something called Mystery Science Theater. And I wish I could remember the guy who hosted it. He had basically, if I wish I had his voice, but he would narrate it. What? Well, no. Like I say, this is before the comedy.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Before comedy. What was his name? Anyway, I'll think of it at 3 a.m.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
But
wait till 2-3 o'clock in the morning, we'll figure it out.
Exactly. But it was mostly horror shows or mystery shows, and that was very fun. But the only one I remember was an episode about Alexander the Great. And I didn't know squat about Alexander the Great, but someone had come up with this radio play where his mother was like this manipulative, basically witch, and she was plotting in the background to get her son to be the king, and she had her husband Philip killed, and even though I don't think much of it ended up being historically true, it's always colored my view of Alexander the Great. In the back of my mind, I think he had this evil, manipulative witch mother and all that. So, Mystery Science Theater, fun stuff. What is it that led you to want to do content creation?
I'm not sure. I just
felt like doing it. I understand.
Yeah,
it's fun.
Yeah,
I got to give it that. Even I may not have much talent for it myself, but it's fun, and your birds are so cute. Let's take a look at. I don't know if we want to go all through your channel, but I'll share.
Yeah, I had 5 birds, cat, and a rabbit as my sons, and were my boys. All 7 were boys.
Oh wow! Okay.
And I got brothers and sisters that were they're forever kids. So.
Gotcha.
So I guess animals. So.
I understand. So I guess Talon was your was kind of the showstopper of the channel.
Yeah, he's some. Yeah, he was. He's all of them. He was the most charming. He's different. I'd miss him totally. I'll bet.
Where are you going?
There you go.
Huh? Peekaboo.
Here, I'll turn it down so you can talk, but I'll just play the site. Peekaboo. He is personable. Oh my gosh.
Oh, he is. Yeah, he's just right there. That's his personality. Right there.
That's fantastic. Now I wish my dog could talk.
Oh, Talon, he has, before he passes, it was well over 200 vocabulary.
Oh, that's amazing.
Phrases.
Right.
And same with the noise effects too. And he did sound like a bog, cat, and a turkey.
And let's see. And then there was, you're going to have to help an old man out. the one that I thought was Pretty Boy, but it was Pretty Boy is just his nickname.
Yeah, Pie Boy. Yeah.
Pie Boy, and that's what you use in your social media, I believe.
Yeah, I use his nickname.
Pie Boy.
And it's spelled like in Bell Book and Candle, except for there's no E. He was named after the cat.
I don't think I'm familiar with that. That was a Disney film, right?
No.
Or am I mistaken?
No, it's a black and white.
Oh.
Bell Book and Candle, that's Jimmy Stewart and Kim Novak.
I see. I got
Jack Lemmon's in it too. It's an all-star cast.
See, you would have thought that I would have known that, but I didn't. Here it is. This is what I've been looking for.
Yeah. And when he passed, he was 33 years old.
That's amazing.
And I could take him outside without even leaning on him at all.
So he didn't. Okay, he didn't try to fly away and get lost or anything. That's fantastic.
No. Well, I took him out when he was taking him out when he was a baby, so he got used to it.
That's cool. What a beautiful
and
bird.
I would walk him down the street in hand.
Me and my shadow. I know you were telling me backstage that birds can live quite a bit longer than people think they can. So
our Jackie and Groucho, we got one of their adults.
Mm-hmm.
And they were in their 40s that we knew of when they passed away.
Oh, wow.
As far as we know, they could have been in their 50s.
That's incredible. I can't remember. I've read how long parrots can live, and it seemed like it was quite a long time, but I can't remember exactly.
Yeah, some could live 60, 70,
60 or 70
years.
Wow.
And people don't realize it. People
you really can have a life like that. Yeah.
You have to will them out, depending on when you've gotten them.
Right.
And the bird are happy with each other. It's one of those things. That knows how to handle the bird and everything else.
Now you say you had started moderating on Dino's show. What? How is it that you become? And it's amazing. Don't get me wrong, but how did you become a moderator? Like almost everywhere. I think it's incredible the number of places I see you as a moderator. How did that come about?
I think because maybe they saw me how I am in the chat. I'm guessing. Because I've been on his channel for a long time now.
Gotcha.
And I said something. I'm just speculating here. I just am, but I watch. Listen and everything, and keep an eye on things. Yeah.
I noticed that you and Lady. Yeah. I notice you're quite willing to come to the defense of the creator. Like somebody said something a while back about Troy, and you're like, hey, I don't even remember what you said, but you're like, no, that's not cool. And I like that because I imagine that I never really thought about it before I started doing my own stuff, but it can feel fairly overwhelming when you're trying to run this thing and you're trying to respond to the chat and people are doing and saying stuff. Again, I haven't had much experience with people being too terrible, but every now and then there's times like, especially before I got a couple of moderators, it's like, this person is really annoying the crap out of me. But
I do call people out, even if it's the creator. If the creator, I would go behind the scenes.
I understand.
Just let
you know. On that note, Maybe I should check our chat here to make sure you haven't been calling me out for anything. What's the coolest thing that a bird has ever done that you've ever seen a bird do?
Well, when I was tiny, I had a parakeet named Walter. That little stink pot. Hang upside down like a bat and start talking like a CB.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Breaker 19 and all that stuff.
Same bird. And when my dad would get home, he had these certain kind of pants he had to wear for work.
Uh-huh.
When Dad would go sit down, start falling asleep, and Walter would be out, he would wait till Dad falls asleep, lands on him, and starts plucking his hair. He does, damn bird. Just nudges him a little bit, and this has been going on for like 5-10 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And I have to put him back in to give Dad some kind of peace because he was a meat cutter at the time.
Oh, okay.
And this is back in the early 70s. So,
yeah. Yeah, my dad, he did all kinds of stuff, but often I know there were some jobs he had very early on when he would have some, like a form of a uniform or something from his work. So, and the Connie Cleary channel, I believe, is mostly devoted to your birds, but you also have the second channel, Fluff Chick Productions. What's the theme of that channel?
Horror / ideas for maybe people might do for the holidays or whatever, or maybe giving some kind of idea for something that they're doing. And maybe it might help spark something else.
Okay.
Oh, that's Frankenstein.
Frankenstein is that a pumpkin or what is that?
Yeah, that is a type of pumpkin.
Okay. So you're just making a Halloween pumpkin Frankenstein. That is cool.
Yeah, there's some of them that I see it. I see it.
Mm-hmm.
And the idea comes right then there to me.
That's
cool. I do go in there to Patterson Farms out here in Chesterland, out by me. I'm in Ohio.
Right.
Some ideas of what I want, but sometimes that's changed.
Gotcha. And we all have a creative side. I wish I'd done more pumpkin carving and things. Christmas decorations.
Yeah.
Those are nice.
Yeah, this is downtown Willoughby's. Christmas light ceremony.
Oh, that's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Some people really put up a good show.
Oh yeah, they've been doing this for years, and it's always great.
Now, what is the green thing? Is that a Christmas leprechaun? I'm not sure what I'm seeing there. There's the candle.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, no, it's an elf.
An elf. Of course, I should have thought of that.
Yeah, a lot of this is done on my phone.
Oh, that's cool.
And there's a couple of my videos on both channels. I still have a camera that I had gotten for Christmas 15 years ago. Still works great.
Oh,
I'm using it.
That's fantastic. I don't think I've had one last more than 5 years.
It's a Nikon.
Oh, okay.
And cool. I still got some of the other stuff that goes attachments that goes with it still. So now, I got two. Hold on a second here.
I think this one is this a spider you're making, or just some kind of a Monster Critter?
Monster Critter. If I see it, if I see something I know I could do, I run with it.
I love the eyeballs. That's fantastic. What is your I've already told you about mine. What is your favorite old time radio show?
Ooh, that's.
I know you know so much more about them, so it's probably hard to pick
it's hard
one,
because I got so many of them. Even though I grew up with listening to the Sherlock Holmes, but for me personally, my Holmes is Jeremy Brent.
Okay.
He's the closest to the actual Holmes is.
Yeah.
There's a series back in the 80s for a few seasons. It is good. Come right out England.
Oh, I don't remember. I don't remember that. Of course, in the 80s, life was different for me back then. But I don't remember a 80s Sherlock Holmes coming out of the United Kingdom. And that was Was that radio or was that you say that was television, right? Okay. Is this it?
Yeah, that's it.
Jeremy Brett. Yeah, okay. Now that I'm seeing it, I'm vaguely remembering it. I don't think I've watched more than. I do remember this episode, the Redheaded League, and Jeffrey Whitehead in the 70s.
Yeah, granted, I love all the Holmes, but to me, this jet here is the closest.
This is the one.
And even some of the family members of Doyle say he's the
one that did it best.
Well, I remember.
Closest. Yeah, I remember the old Basil Rathbones movies, and but I was more into Spock. But I loved the logic of Sherlock Holmes, and then when I read the books, that's when I actually fell in love with that character. And as a youth, I wanted to be with this weird combination of Spock and Sherlock Holmes, and sadly, I just wasn't logical enough or observant enough. Mr. Holmes, Elementary Watson. Yeah, here we go. Basil Rathbones, the Hound of the Baskervilles. I think that was the first one I ever watched.
Cool.
Good old Basil Rathbones.
Yeah, like I said, all of them are great, but he's mine.
He's the one that is your favorite. I think, honestly, I don't mean to be a little bit cliche, but I think my favorite is Cumberbatch, even though he's not all that true to the books. I just love that.
For the modern time.
Yes. I think that he's done a great job of transferring that archetype into our time. As far as the truest to the books, I just haven't seen enough of Jeremy Brett, but he's awfully good. I think my next favorite is still Basil Rathbones, just from the sheer nostalgia of it. Remembering watching that one or two of his when I was a kid. I need to watch more of these, though. Jeremy Brett. The Adventures, A Scandal in Bohemia, The Dancing Men.
Leslie Howard's brother did a half-hour series of Holmes.
Oh.
Black and white. Ron Howard.
Oh, Ron Howard.
Yeah.
Ron Howard?
Yeah. Yeah, Leslie Howard's brother.
How did I not know that? That's wild. Oh my gosh.
That's it. Yep. You know, you can tell that's his brother.
Yeah. That's freaking cool.
I grew up watching them too.
$1954. That's fantastic. So what one of the challenges that I find being in the community, being a wannabe creator, I have no idea. Like I've tried to make kind of a schedule, and there's some shows, some people that I prioritize, and I'm just determined to see. But there's so many wonderful people and wonderful creators in the community. I know we often like simul play. I don't know what the term would be. People's stuff just to help them get views, and often I'm ping ponging back and forth between one channel and the other because I want to support them all. How do you balance that? How do you find how do you determine who you're going to watch and so on? I'm very curious to know that because I know I see you almost everywhere, and I'm curious how you do it and how do you prioritize where you're going to be going. If you can say that without offending anyone, I don't want you to come. I don't want to put you on the spot and I'm going to see this person's and that's it, because I don't want to offend anybody. But
well, the funny thing is, on Fridays and Saturdays and Sundays, I'm booked.
Yeah, I don't doubt it.
Because on Friday nights, while I'm doing my Friday night movie night, on my phone I got The Mummy and the Monkey.
Yeah.
While I'm watching whatever movie I'm doing. I've been doing it like that for like 3 years now, like that. Oh
wow!
Even when Dina was doing it on Friday nights, and I took it over, and I'm still doing it. Then
that's cool.
And this is where it gets a little tricky.
Oh, I'll bet.
When it gets to like after 9:30, I do the split screen on my computer.
Okay.
When The Mummy and Monkey does their Harry Scary Hangover, I got Troy's on Friday night on the other half of the screen, and I got Dina's on the phone.
Okay.
So I got all three going. I got them at different levels of volume.
See, I find I find it challenging to even ping pong two, but I've tried juggling 3 different things, and that's very much the limit. I can't go past that just because I don't. My ADHD will just explode if I try to do much more than that. But I've always been impressed since I I've only been in the community for a few months, but I've always been impressed by how you and a couple of others are everywhere, and you seem to catch maybe not everything, but so much. I just think that's amazing.
During the week, depending on what I'm doing, I'll toss one on my phone or something on my computer, depending on where I'm at throughout the week, and just listen and catch a little bit of it. But with deleted feeds, like and Bill does the movies. Sometimes I usually have something else going on too while I'm keeping an eye on while I'm watching them.
Right on.
That's what I'm doing right now, which I have the Cosby on the other half of my stream.
And I won't get the cause me up because I don't want YouTube to bark at us. But yeah, I also have their stream running. It's on mute right now, but
yeah,
it's in the background just so that they've got the views, and I'm supporting them. So, and I think that's one of the things I love about this community is there's so many people who do stuff like that. There's very few people who haven't at least shown up in one of the chats when I've done one of these wacky, unprofessional streams. It's amazing. People, a lot of these people have a lot more talent than I have, and I'm just very grateful that they even show up. I mean, it's amazing.
Curse, it'll take time. Everyone has
I
their
know,
own
I know.
and how on learning things.
Oh yeah, and my learning curve is it's very weird. People lose patience with it, but my learning curve's one of those weird things where you don't see much progress, but at some point it just freaking takes off. But I have to be patient till I get to that point, and who knows if this learning curve will work as previous ones has. You never know. But
it's called adapting. You'll
yes.
adapt. You'll find your own. Everyone has their own stick on how to get things.
Exactly. What you've I don't know about mastered, but you've done very well as far as scheduling. What challenges do you face in your creator journey?
Sometimes life gets in the way. Sometimes.
Mm-hmm. No, that's true.
Yeah. Or depending on what's going on.
I know. I maybe I'm wrong, but I assume you do too. But I work a moderately challenging job, at least for me, it is. And I had some, like this week, I wanted to do more streaming, but I had to make sure that I had enough energy. So the chronic fatigue, you have to juggle everything, and you have to prioritize the job almost over everything. And I know everybody does, but it's very important because I can afford to crash when I'm off work. I can't crash during work. I just can't. And I know everybody has something similar to that. But.
Me, I'm disabled, so I could do things a little bit differently, but sometimes life gets in the way. But I'm a nanny to 7 dogs, 2 cats, and a chinchilla.
Oh wow! And the birds.
And I do 2 days a week. I go to the local shop that I've been going to for years.
Okay.
And I'm the social director for the critters.
That's fantastic.
And I do that like 2, maybe 3 times a week. That's where you see some of them, some of the birds.
Okay.
So,
okay. So they're not.
And wherever you see, I give them some of them to the owner. Give her some of the videos so she can post it up on Facebook.
Gotcha.
So so it'll help.
That's cool.
Them out for the birds or wherever animals that are there.
And I know, if it's okay, your Facebook page has the birds, beautiful birds, and then you also have the late night shows.
Yeah.
And not that anybody needs or wants to know, but we have one mutual friend, and Stephen Otten.
Yeah.
And we would have much, much more, but I'm terrible with the social media thing, and I need to actually, that's item number 329 that I need to do, is get more people from the community liked and friended and all that on the social media.
Well, I got Netter on there on Twitter, dancing with Stephanie and Troy and a few of from that end. But I do have Dino and a few of the channel members on Dino's channels I'm friends with on between Facebook and Twitter. And the Discord that Dino has too up.
Here's one. Timothy Matthew Hayes. Anyway, I won't make people
Timothy
watch
too.
me friend people in the community, but it is definitely something that I need to do, is do better with getting y'all friended and liked and all that on my social media.
Yeah, depending on what, for me, with some of the videos I do, if I'm doing it on the Fluff Chick end, I do it on the Twitter and the Facebook page end. Same with the bird side of things too. That way there.
Okay. See, I have absolutely no idea how to stream anything on Facebook. Does StreamYard? Because I had the impression that you had to do the paid version to do anything beyond just one stream.
Mm-hmm.
Is that correct? And eventually I'll get there, but I've been saving up my money and stuff. So, but one of these paychecks, I'll just do it.
I'm still looking into the StreamYard right now still, so I'm at the free end right now, so.
Oh, okay. So how did you do your streaming before? Just going live on YouTube, or how did you do that?
I just post stuff on. That's it. Okay. The only time I was going live is through the StreamYard.
Okay, so
through you or deleted.
Okay.
Or what I was a special guest on Netters.
Gotcha. So probably not as new as me, but you're also relatively new to the actual streaming itself. Is that correct? Okay.
Yeah, I'm still. I got a few things figured out. I'm still running. See what else I can do and everything else.
100%. I didn't know that you were disabled. I don't mean to be prying, but I know I'm very technically, I should say that I'm disabled, but because basically I am almost certain I will lose my job if I do. Right. I've got chronic fatigue syndrome to at least a mildly debilitating, and it can vary. Sometimes it's more severe, sometimes it's less. And I've got several mental things, nothing like too severe, but enough that it's enough. I'll put it that way. And I would admit more of it, but because I'm frankly scared of the stigma, I don't say too much. But, there's the usual suspects of chronic depression, anxiety, and then some other post-traumatic stress syndrome, stuff like that. But if I'm not prying too much, would you be willing to share your own experience, or if that's too far, then we can just move on to the next topic?
Mine, I have a few of the breathing issues.
Okay.
I have arthritis and a few other things. I can still drive and everything else, but I have to watch.
Mm-hmm.
But I just, that's why I got my hobby job is to take the nanny job for the Harvard kids.
Something that you're able to do. Yeah. I know my sister has not diabetes. You just said it. Like I say, the chronic fatigue is real, but whatever you just said, she has that too.
Right.
I have been very fortunate there, but not, who knows?
Like I said, mine is more the physical. My mental faculties are fine.
Yeah, they've got to be. You're a good moderator, so you're a great moderator, so that you've got to be pretty sharp and pretty quick. And hello to Mikey Susie 4. Thank you for showing up and
hi, Mikey.
Being supportive. He's a great guy.
Yeah.
Check out his channel. I'm having a COVID fog moment, but he does lots of really wonderful reviews for television shows from our time, like The A-Team and Greatest American Hero. And ISIS. I thought that was amazing that somebody would do reviews of ISIS. That's amazing. So, what plans or what goals or what hopes do you have for the future of your channel? Oh, I guess we could let him in. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hold on.
I promise we won't bite hard.
Yes. I've sharpened my teeth, just which I realize is probably not smart to put it in the chat, but it was the quickest thing I could think of to get it to him. I don't know if I've got much of his social media on there. Mikey Susie 4. Let's look him up.
Yeah, I had health issues even the first 7 years after I was born, so I'm used to dealing with maneuvering around with whatever health issues I have. So
I got you. I was really kind of even scary healthy until I was 20. My only real issues as a kid was I had the depression, I had the insomnia, and I had the PTSD. But I powered through all that, and everyone thought I was going to be this great, big, wonderful thing. And then I got sick. I got mono in college, and everything just went to heck after that. And here's Mikey. Let's bring him on. Hello, Mikey. How the heck are you doing, sir?
How you doing, sir? It's good to have you, or to be here with you guys.
No,
I feel honored and blessed. Thank you.
Oh, honor's all mine. I've got two frankly better creators than myself, but I am glad you're both here. How are you doing?
I'm doing all right. The wife is just out for a few minutes. She went to go get some soda. We drink diet soda because we're both diabetics too. So we have to watch our diets as well. So yeah.
No, I understand. I've been blessed in that. I'm not diabetic, at least not at the moment. Now I know that a good friend of mine, because of the disease that shall not be named.
Oh God, yeah. Because if you say something, then YouTube goes, no.
Yeah, and I'm not. This is for educational purposes only. I'm making no opinions about anything that any government has done at all. Having said that, she got the disease, and since then she has, with no family history or anything, all of a sudden she has it now, and it's a struggle for her, and I'm sure it is for you guys too. But
well, we both shared it. One of our I should say one of our nightmares was in early 2020, because in successive months, first my wife caught it, then I caught it from her.
Oh no!
And Suzanne and I mean, for 3 weeks we were both sick as dogs, and I think I could have even died like after my first week because I felt like I was drowning. You know how that is? Gosh. Like you're trying to breathe and you're drowning?
Yes. Well, I guess that's one other thing I didn't mention. As a youngster, I had really terrible asthma. So I do know that just trying to suck up air and it doesn't feel like anything's coming in. I hate that.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it's just another aspect of it is like feeling like you're underwater, right? You're trying to get up for air, but you feel like you're trapped. I know that it's really a horrifying thought because struggling to just breathe. I don't know how many people have gone through the experience, but I can guarantee you they need to know because a lot of people take just regular breathing for granted. I don't think you can. I don't think you can actually take things like that for granted anymore. Not with the disease that cannot be named. It's still out there. This is the scariest part. I mean, the two of us, we always, at the end of every month, we always go to at least one or two places. So we went and had a really nice Asian buffet this one place we call Mandarin, which is really awesome. And then we went over and saw a movie. But, you know, the mall that we go to see the movies at, it is overcrowded. And I mean, there are so, and of course it's the summer. So, right, Connie? I mean, you've been through that experience. It just feels like you're trapped in a tank, you know,
Right.
in an aquarium, and all these, you know, people around you are sick as dogs, and they don't care. They cough at you. They smoke. I mean, it's absolutely insane.
Oh, and give me a moment here. I'm going to say hi, Putin's cat. Hello, thank you for joining us. We have Mikey Susie Ford as the person with the cats. Connie Cleary, of course, is the one with the birds. And I chose to be a piratey type person because I thought pirates go well with birds. Thank you for showing up.
Yeah, like
malls suck. When Putin's cat goes shopping, he goes into it, gets his stuff, get out. I'm that way with almost every retail establishment there is, except for a bookstore. Except for a bookstore. I can spend hours in a bookstore.
Yeah, or in a music store. I could probably spend a lot of time in a music store.
Yeah, fair point.
Because I was a musician and a singer, and yeah, I mean, yeah, I could definitely stay in a big music store. Suzanne loves to be in video stores. So, like, if there's different videos available, or we have this one place. Yeah, we have this one place in the Toronto area called Variety Village, and it has a lot of old time DVDs. And,
wonderful!
And Blu-rays, some Blu-rays, and some music there, cassettes and CDs. So she just hangs out. I mean, that's to find stuff for us, and I mean that's great. But yeah, I know I haven't been to very many museums here. I told her, I said, one of these days we need to go see the Royal Ontario Museum.
Oh yeah,
and I guarantee you we could spend hours in there. That's so much fun. Yeah.
Yeah, Putin's cat. I haven't bought a video in probably a year or maybe even two. That's just the way life has gone lately. I've still bought a few books. I can't seem to stop doing that. But
that's fine.
It's been a while since I bought a video. So I've been on here, been torturing Connie Cleary here with questions about her channel and about birds and about old timey radios and stuff. Now that everyone's here, do we want to repeat any of that information for them, Connie? What would we like to do at this point?
If they have any questions, I'll answer them.
Yeah, I basically know that Connie is one of the most awesome. Not only she's a great, like yourself, sir, but Curtis, but also she's an awesome moderator, and she does a lot of moderation stuff for a lot of channels, including Tony's channel. So I was like, that's pretty sweet. I mean, and it's always a pleasure to see both of you come into our streams, especially when I do the webcam stuff, because I feel like I'm in my own element when I'm doing the reviews as I do for, like you said, for The Secrets of ISIS. Who knew that was such a great show back in the day? I mean, oh my gosh, I must have been like 9 or 10 years old when I'd watch those in the afternoon.
Yeah,
they were awesome, live action. Yeah, and then the other one that Jay was helping me with until he found a beautiful girlfriend named Renee. Is Tony and I spent all the time in the world dedicated to her right now, which is great. That's fine.
Right.
I'm awesome. I'm happy for him. I really am. He was alone for a long time. But anyway, yeah. But getting back to what we were doing, we would each do a review. I would do ISIS, and then he would do Shazam, which was a great one, which had Jackson Boswick and like I said, with us, there was Joanna Cameron, and she's gorgeous. And I mean, back then it was like, wow, this. Like I said, I was only like 9 or 10 years old, so that was one of my idols growing up. Well, next to Cheryl Ladd and Charlie's Angels, but that's another.
Well, there is that. Yeah.
There is that. But so anyway, like I said, we were just doing reviews for each of those, and then Jay's got some awesome real life ahead of him. So yeah, there's our channel. And so what we do is uh, right now we decided to step away, for a little while, take some time off. Um, we do have one stream coming up in August, which will be reviewing the recent Deadpool movie,
Oh,
Deadpool and
nice.
Wolverine, and we still have a poll going. If you go to the community section of the poll, it asks you, after the movie premieres, when do you want us to, excuse me, do a review? Hi, honey. Speaking of, my wife just got home. So when you do you want us to do the review? Without any spoilers, because I know a lot of people want to see it. So we have choices of August 1st, August 8th, August 15th, or if you just want us to do any date between August 1st and August 30th, let us know. Because if down in the comment section, and if we get enough requests for that, then we'll just choose any random date. Within probably at least a 2-week period, because we figure by then a lot of people have probably already seen the film. So, and by that time they'll probably be commenting on it. So yeah, so that's what we got planned for August, and then in September, after September 1st, we'll be doing a weekly. We call it weekly webcams. So what I do is I do review of going to be starting the first Monday in September. I'm starting Red Dwarf. So I've got
Oh,
2
Right.
episodes that I'll be commenting on each week, along with ISIS on Tuesdays, The Greatest American Hero on Wednesdays, and then A-Team on Thursdays. Hopefully, still, if Jay wants to do it with me, we'll do a live stream. And then on Fridays, the first thing we're trying to finish right now is the Star Trek films, and
oh
already
yeah.
we're on to Star Trek 4, The Voyage Home, and then after that's done, then we'll start doing the Star Wars films, and then after that, we are trying to plan on doing different Star Trek series, really just anything from TOS all the way up to Enterprise. And then I do want to just do after that, not the new Trek, because I'm really not into that, and I really haven't studied a lot of episodes from the other series, like Lower Decks or that sort of thing. But I do want to emphasize on fan films. So James Crawley, who did a whole big thing before Vic Mignogna did with his Star Trek Continues, he did a couple things that was called New Voyages, and it was supposed to be like Phase 2, which Roddenberry was trying to come up with originally, but he died, and so he didn't really have an
Yeah.
opportunity. But so Crawley did a few of those, and then when Vic left his group, then he went over and started doing Star Trek Continues. And I gotta say, those 11 episodes that he did, plus a 2-parter at the very end, is some of the best Trek I've ever seen since basically TNG or Voyager. So, and even the original series, because Vic is so good at paying homage. I mean, he even brought on former people. There was like an episode which says, "Who mourns for Adonai?" And the guy that played Apollo, he brought him back. Then there was another episode about time travel, and he brought back George Takei, who played like a caveman sort of character.
I
Well,
have
it was
not
actually
seen that one.
it
I've
was
seen the
Zulu.
channel, but not that episode.
Yeah,
That's
it's
incredible.
awesome. And it's just he's like an older Sulu, and he just said he got trapped in a some kind of time bubble, and so in all that time he was on a planet, he gave birth to a daughter, and they shared it. They shared it because it was a mission that he went out with this other lady, and so it was just yeah. I mean, it was just amazing, and uh, the Espers. Oh my gosh, the 2-part at the very end of the 11 episodes is absolutely insane, but it's so good. And what happens is at the very end of the second one, I won't say how, but what happens is it leads right to Star Trek: the motion picture. It's
Oh,
how
really?
as an admiral. Yeah, it's insane. I was like, wow. So I figured this is pretty much the canon. This is what I came up with. So if you go with the original series, right? All 3
Mhm.
seasons, 79 episodes. Okay. Then during that time, you go with TAS. Okay. But you need to do TAS just after you do James Crawley's New Voyages, because what happens is he continues right, Crawley does, right from where Turnabout Intruder ended. Like he picks up right there. And
Oh,
so
wow.
that's the continuing voyages. Yeah. So you can run those concurrently if you want. You can do Crawley because he didn't do very many episodes, but they were very good. And you can run those concurrently with the animated series and just go with every episode from that. And then,
That's cool.
right. And then what happens is all you have to do is go from the last episode of TAS, go right to Vic Monona and just start with episode 1 and just go from there, because it actually does pick up from the end of TAS. So yeah, it's awesome. Like I said, it's just a great continuation. And then you watch Next Generation and Voyager and DS9, and Enterprise, and then basically that's it. So
Well, I was aware of this channel and I used to watch a lot of it, but somehow I just lost track. So I didn't realize that these last two, that the To Boldly Go, I haven't seen them yet, but I've seen these other ones. They're incredible. It's insane, the original props that they have, the original cast members that show up, but I haven't seen the one with Sulu. I assume that's one of
it's
these two, or
it's actually more towards the beginning. It says something. It has time in the. It has something to do with time that's in the
in the
title
title.
of it. It could,
Okay.
you know what? It could still be mixed with Crawley's New
Oh,
Voyages. Yeah.
okay.
So if you go to James Crawley's channel, and Star Trek New Voyages, I'm sure it has something to do with that.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, one of the standout episodes of the ones that have Vic Monona, the continues, there is a great episode on that one called "The Fairest of Them All," and what happens
Yes.
is it takes basically Mirror from
Mhm.
the original series, and from the perspective of when the actual Enterprise crew was trapped in the mirror universe. What happens is the fairest of them all takes a transition, goes to the point where Kirk and Uhura and McCoy and Gotti, they all leave, and then their counterparts come back. And you remember what Kirk said to Spock, like, be the one, to start the revolution.
Yes.
The one to do it.
Yes.
So then the mirror ones come back, and it continues right from there. So it gives the mirror universe version of Mirror
Yes.
from their perspective. And that was so brilliant. I was like,
That is my
that's
favorite,
sick.
bar
Yeah.
none. This is my favorite fan fiction of any kind, not
Oh.
just Star Trek, but anything. I just
Absolutely.
love this episode. It's so
Sure.
incredible. Now, Putin's Cat is asking if we like Picard season 3. I've only seen 2 episodes of Picard, sadly.
I saw the last 2 of season 3, which was the Borg battle, and then it
Okay.
leads right to where 7 of 9 is going to do the Enterprise G.
Okay. Well, I will make no comment about that.
Yeah. I saw those last 2. Yeah, I did see the Putin, just the last 2 episodes of Picard season 3, but it is very good. And yeah, a Sulu show. Yes. Oh my.
No.
Yeah, the clothes changed, right, which means our consciousness moved and not the bodies. Correct. So what you see is like everything is the same, but when their mirror counterparts, came back, the consciousness stayed with them, and it stayed in their mirror universe realm. But then Spock's been changed because he's been changed by his counterpart, Kirk, the other Kirk. So, yeah, it's incredible. And in this episode, the lady who was in the original episode, that's her daughter, is in this episode.
Oh, that's crazy.
Okay.
Well,
Yeah.
isn't the Scotty? Isn't that Doohan's son playing Scotty?
It's Chris Doohan. Yeah, it's Chris Doohan. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah, he is great. Yeah.
Do you guys have patience to watch like 2 minutes of it anyway? Because I'm just a geek. I geek out when I watch this, but I'd love to let the audience see like maybe the first minute or two of what we've been discussing, and then I'll shut the heck up.
Teaser. Yeah, no worries. Yeah, give him a brain teaser because
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Okay,
Yeah.
here.
You know what? Do the opening. Yeah, do the opening where Pat, the other Kirk says to him, "Be the one to start the revolution."
Yes.
Pad, and then the other ones will show up. It's
Yes. I'll do it. Basically, I'll do it up to the
intro. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just to
I may pause it once or twice so that YouTube doesn't destroy us. But this is for educational purposes only. We are not the copyright holders. And we are not, sadly, I wish we were universe jumping, but instead we're just watching a well-made fan film about universe jumping. This is Star Trek Continues, Episode 3, Fairest of them all, the intro. Is that too loud, or is that okay?
Okay.
Yeah, that's totally fine.
Okay.
You must return to your universe. I must have my captain back. I shall operate the transporter. You have 2 minutes and 10 seconds.
For that time, I have something to say. How long before the Hulkin prediction of galactic revolt is realized?
Approximately 240 years.
The inevitable outcome.
The Empire shall be overthrown, of course.
The illogic of waste, Mr. Spock. Waste of lives, potential, resources, time. I submit to you that your empire is illogical because it cannot endure. I submit that you are illogical to be a willing part of it.
You have 1 minute and 23 seconds.
If change is inevitable, predictable, beneficial, doesn't logic demand that you be a part of it?
One man cannot summon the future. But what?
And just to make sure we don't get a copyright strike, I'll stop it there for a bit and maybe skip ahead to the part that really impressed me on this one.
Well, here's the Putin is asking, is that Flash Gordon some Chinese guy? No. In the mustache is the guy that plays Spock in Continues. His name is Todd Haberkorn. He's really good at it. He's actually classically trained actor. So Vic only got the best people to do his Continues. And Vic, of course, is Captain Kirk. And he's just so good. And he changes. Here's the thing I found out. Both James Crawley and Vic Mignogna were kids when the original series was running. Their families had them on set. So they were running around doing stuff, as little kids.
That's crazy. I didn't know that.
Yeah, well, especially Vic Mignogna, because he says, I went around the sets, I looked at all the gore, and I saw all this stuff. He was just young enough to catch all of that stuff. So when he basically migrated from Crawley, but he kept Crawley as a producer, and then Vic would become the director and the creator and everything, he just went and found people that could find the old sets from the original series and build them. And they rebuilt them. I watched the whole documentary with Continues about their process of building these older sets that they used to have and make them seem like brand new. So it's basically like you're just watching TOS, but it's like, newer.
With
and
different actors, yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, it's just absolutely fantastic. You're just like, wow. It's like these people really thought it through. Like they knew what they were going to film. And I mean, it was just, yeah.
It's
And
really well
like I said,
done.
the Espers, yeah, if you think about it for a moment, the Espers actually go back to Gary Mitchell and the actress, that played the nurse, played by Sally Kellerman, which was, what was the name of that one again? Oh, yeah, Where No Man Has Gone Before. So the Espers basically continue off where that ended with the death of Mitchell and the other woman. They've been out there. The Espers have been out there for a while. So without giving too much away, to boldly go part 1 and 2, excellent. I mean, it's just good. It's just good creative writing and filming of a great series that we all grew up with as kids.
I won't go too much deeper into it because I don't want that copyright strike, but I did want to play a little bit more just to I wanted to show a little bit of what impressed me about this episode. I'm just going to play like this tiny little bit more.
Captain Kirk, I shall consider it.
Like I said, the actress that's standing right next to him is the daughter of the original actress that was in the original episode of Mirror Mirror. Yeah.
Now, when I first watched this, remember the chronic fatigue is real.
I shall consider it.
But when I saw that the very first time for about half a second, I almost thought they had transposed the original shot over that. And then I looked closer and I was, oh no, that's Vic and that's the other actor and that's the other duo and so on. But I think they've almost perfectly matched up the poses, the uniforms. Again, if you watch it just tired enough like I did, and then somebody else has actually done the thing where they play it side by side, and it's so exact. The attention to detail is just incredible for something.
I think that's absolutely fantastic. How you're able to transport people, deep fake it. Yeah, exactly. And yes, Putin. Sally Kellerman in the original movie of MASH in 1970 did play Hot Lips before Loretta Swit took it over in the series. And yes, she was a nurse. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right. Yeah, I won't play anymore. Again, I don't want to taunt the YouTube gods, but it's really well done. It's the detail and the evil Tiberius here just being a sexist person. I can't remember which scene it is, but there's a scene where he's like, "Am I not merciful?" The homage to Gladiator. I thought that was beautiful.
Yeah.
And then
here's another well-known fact. The lady, this was just before Miss Nichelle Nichols passed away, rest in peace, the original Uhura. But the lady that plays Uhura in Continues did get a ringing endorsement from the original Nichelle. So, I mean,
that's cool.
You know what? That can't get any better than that. If you got the original lady that played her so well in the original series, and she tells him, "Yeah, you're playing her Uhura just like I did," and gives her highly, encouraging words about that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, of course, but that's the mirror. That's the mirror universe. Right. Originally, Uhura wouldn't have done that. That's the subtle differences, right, Connie? You just have to, just have to kind of pick them out. If you're real nerds like we are, you'll do that. You'll just see little nuances here and there, different little things. But yeah, that's the best way that they were able to distinguish between the two universes, and I think that's really cool, really innovative. I mean, back for then, and then what they did here
Exactly.
was just improving.
I know Troy and that community was talking a little bit about the Prelude to Axanar, and I'm definitely not going to play that because
Yeah.
I've learned from the community that basically they're really not nice people running around monitoring that. But what I hated, what I loved and hated about that was other than this, that was the next best fan thing that I'd seen. And it just breaks my heart that it was never really completed. And again, so that I don't get anyone in the community in trouble, it breaks my heart how that came about. Yeah, Paramount is the other Disney, so yeah.
Yeah.
It is
You're
what it
more
is.
right than you know, Putin's cat. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, we have to be real careful. I mean, it's like, I'm just even myself for my own channel, our channel. I'm even afraid to post anything like a Cosme link or anything. Some of my other friends are pretty daring and bold to pull that off. So I'm like, all right, that's fine. That's what you do. But my channel, I want it to be different. If if my voice, if my voice irritates anybody, then I just gotta let me know.
Then they just need to go to another channel then in that case.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
But so far, it's been positive. Nothing but positive. And especially when we did a previous poll where we said, what's one of these series that hasn't been examined yet? What would you like us to do? And here's the thing. In a wide 50% to 25% margin, it wasn't Star Trek, other series they wanted me to pursue yet. They wanted me to pursue Red Dwarf. Nobody has ever seen anyone that they know of on YouTube do a Red Dwarf review.
I don't remember that being reviewed. No, I don't remember that at all.
Yeah.
So that's cool. That's cool.
Oh, very cool. And then later on in the fall, we hope to do Get Smart. I don't think anybody's really done Get Smart either.
Oh my gosh, that would be so good.
I know,
Surely.
and it's in the works. And then my birthday is coming up on September 22nd. So we've already celebrated my lovely wife Suzanne's birthday, which hers was on June 16th. So we're doing my birthday on the 22nd of September. And then what we're going to do for October, this is going to be interesting, because my wife is huge into horror. Two of the shows that we grew up with the most as kids, back in the days of Halloween, we loved the Munsters and we loved Addams Family. And so what we plan to do is a full. We're gonna cut it over 2 days. And it's gonna be 2 live streams, open panel, and subscribers only, right? And we're going to cover first the Addams Family and then the Munsters over a 2-day period just before Halloween. So
that's cool. That's cool.
I know, and I'm so excited. And I got to put together I got to try it in the next couple months. I got to try to put together our favorite episodes from each series, and talk about them. And then if people have their own personal episodes they enjoy, to let us know or to come on panel, because I can fit up to 10 people now. So I used to only be able to do 6, but now I've got, we were able to set aside sock away a little, extra money for ourselves, and
that's fantastic.
Now we can do 10 people.
Let the chaos begin.
Right.
Exactly. Putin, I know, but Cosme, it's a little difficult for me. Not everybody uses it, Putin, but it's a great idea. I just,
I would
when
like
I can
to
work
do
into it, I will, but
Yeah.
it's not something I plan on immediately. So
I would like to do some experimenting with Cosme, but one, I want to set a date when some of my personal, not simply or only YouTube friends, but some of my personal real world friends can be on. And 2, I would like at least one or two people from the community to be there too when I experiment. But I may change my mind on this, but I've thought about trying to do Kung Fury as my first introductory stream of that. I don't know if you're familiar with that at all, but it's a crazy crowd-funded thing, kind of like the Star Trek stuff, only this guy from Norway deliberately decided to make a terrible movie, and it's a hoot. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is true, but let's put it this way. Right now we have 180 subscribers. And there are people, like I said, Tony Stark of Iron, a lot of my other friends, Gorillas Random Thoughts. I mean, they all, and even Jim's Landscape, LLC, they all have huge followings. They have, and even Anti-Derivative Jill, has a huge following. So, I mean, that's fine. I mean, I admire their channels. I support them. But at the same time, we're still building ours. Ours is a fledgling channel, Putin. I want to build it up slowly but steadily. I don't want to step over anybody else's streams and run them over or do anything. No, Suzanne and I are just trying to put out a unique type of channel, I guess you could call it. Eventually when we do, have to make your own stuff. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, we're making up our own stuff. You might also notice if you watch our videos, we just say a general prayer at the end of every stream or webcam we do, just to, pray for other people's channels, for their families, because the world is an unsafe place right now. And it needs a little bit of love there, a little bit of compassion, a little bit of prayer here and there. It doesn't hurt. And we're not forcing our, we don't talk about religion. We don't talk about politics or any of the other taboo subjects. We try to avoid it at all costs. But at the same time, we just want to give out a little bit of positive vibes out there. Mm-hmm. If you call prayers like that positive vibes, and they're just in general, and it works, and knock on wood on my desk, it hasn't created any copyright strikes or anybody claiming that I'm trying to force my beliefs down your throat. No, we're not doing that at all. It's trying to put out the positive vibes out in the community, because there is a lot of chaos. So Connie can definitely agree with me on this. Some channels are just absolutely ludicrous. I mean, they're insane.
Yeah.
Right? Is that pretty much accurate?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. You have to be able to defend yourself somehow. I think it's more like defend your soul.
Yeah.
It's not just about anything else, really. It's just about defending your soul. Yeah, Putin. He knows what I'm talking about. He definitely knows. He's seen it. Oh yeah, it's terror. It's total chaos out there right now. It's carnage. It's just stupidity, I guess, in some way. There's just so much going on, and it's not good. I mean, it's not goodness at all. It's like you want to hurt somebody else or do something. I don't want that. When I go on YouTube, I want to have a positive experience every single time. I mean, I know that's not realistic, but at least I'd like it to be a majority of the time where I could just go to a channel and say, oh, that's cool, and you guys are happy, and it seems like exuding some positivity. That's great, and you're not talking about bad stuff, and you're trying to put out a good channel, and you see that once in a while, and that's great. But I mean, the majority of them are just bad.
Plus, you worry about some of the trolls.
Oh, yeah.
I've seen my fair share on all the channels, especially on Dino's. Yeah. There's a few of us mods. Lost count on how many times we had to kick these jackals out.
Yeah.
Exactly. Well, it's happened to some of my closest friends that I know here on YouTube. Some of my closest creators, like I said, like Gorilla, like Resolute
Mhm.
Germ, even Jim's Landscape, my friend Sci-Fi Nation, Tony, even. I mean, you know what? Basically we, Suzanne and I both said, hey, we got to avoid him, and the best way to do it is just go subscribers only. So that's what we done. I mean, we just will not let anybody else in the channel. I know it seems kind of mean, but really isn't, because you're just trying to protect the integrity of your channel, and the
Yeah.
positivity of the channel. And like I said, we only have 180 subscribers, so it's not like I'm expecting 500 people to walk into the room and just and do whatever. We're like I said, we're still a fledgling channel. We've only been streaming uh, since last year. Basically, April of 2023 is when this Mikey Sue's 4 channel got started officially. But it started all the way back in 2016, just after we got married. We just had never really got around to streaming and doing, live chats and things like that.
What?
And
What?
before this, I had a previous channel which was running. It's also linked to our current channel. It was called Warlord Fade, and it was just my own channel. And I ran that for 6 years, from 2008 right up until the very end of 2014. And then I met Suzanne before that, and I took a break for a year, and we cultivated our relationship, and then got married the following year in 2016. And then that's when we started this current channel. So yeah.
What inspired you to start a channel?
Ooh.
I
Well,
mean, something to actually create. I mean, not just like for years. All I used mine for was to just watch stuff. But
yeah. Well, I guess, like I said, when we first started this channel 8 years ago, we really didn't go into it with a lot of a thought ahead of time. I mean, but we did want it to be somewhat positive. Like I said, there was just so much negativity in the world still going on. A lot of channels just weren't right. We just said they're just not accommodating to people. They shun a lot of persons, and don't respect their opinions. And everybody has an opinion,
mhm.
but it should be heard. And I think, and if not really heard, well, then you should be recognized for supporting a person's channel. And very few of my creator friends will actually take the time and acknowledge every single person in the chat, whether they're waving at them, if they're just saying hello, things like that. That's what I plan. That's what I always plan on doing. Is if you ever watch any of my videos, and especially the live stream ones, even when I had a terrible computer last year, even when I drop out sometimes, I had some trusted friends who would continue to talk to people in the chat, and then on panel. And if I came back, I said, "Was there anything I missed?" "Oh, yeah, just this one or two or whatever." "Okay, cool," and I'll just go over it, and that's what I did. So yeah, if you watch any of those, even the webcams I do on my own, Suzanne will tell you I do recognize every single person in the chat. I acknowledge every single person. That's Yeah, to me, that's how a channel should build itself.
Yeah,
Is respecting others. Before themselves.
yeah. And I know it's a delicate balance because it's also possible for the chat to just take over, and I've allowed that to happen, and that can become a fun train wreck real fast. But
Yes,
but I do
again.
agree that you should try to acknowledge everybody. I mean, if a troll pops up, you'll find that out soon enough, and then Connie will nix them. But
Yeah.
anyway, I know Connie only has maybe a 20-minute window. She's got to be going, but do we
Oh,
do we want to discuss anything for the next 10, 15 minutes or so, or
yeah, Connie. Is there anything else you want to say? I don't want to hold you up from what
No,
you
I'm
got planned.
good. If anyone has any questions, I'll answer them. Or
Oh, okay, awesome.
whatever.
So, Connie, is your channel is that your one and only channel, or do you have other
I
channels?
got two of them.
Two of them, okay.
Yeah, the first I got them both on the chat.
Awesome.
Yeah, I got what first one. The first one is for the birds. The other one is Fluff Chick. It's like a catch all. There we go.
Oh yeah, Fluff Chick. Yeah,
That's me.
I did subscribe to you. Yeah, both on your Connie Cleary channel
Yeah.
and on your Fluff Chick Productions channel. Yes, I did sub to both of them. And that's the other thing too. You got to be careful of, right, with YouTube, because every once in a while, and I even warn my fellow creators and stuff, please double check your channels at
Yeah.
least once a week or every couple weeks, because sometimes, for whatever darn reason, YouTube will just take away one or two subs and just kind of take, they just seem to disappear. And I'm not sure what, like I said, for whatever reason, I don't even know what the actual uh, reasoning is behind that, but you just want to make sure you keep checking, because I noticed that some people disappear and you're like, well, I just thought I had that many before, and then the next thing you know, there's like two or three gone. You're like, well, wait a second, didn't I have subscribers before? And and so yeah, it's something to keep track of for sure. Oh, thank you, Curtis. Yeah.
Oh,
So
you're
if
welcome.
anybody hasn't subscribed yet to Miss Connie Cleary, yeah, please subscribe to both her channels, because they're both awesome.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
I love little parrots. They're so cute.
Yeah. Yeah, that's my little monkey doodle right there, Talon Tiberius. And yes, I am a geek. Talon's from Farscape.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
One is offspring.
Yeah, that's
And,
right. Yeah, I did recognize.
Tiberius has a double meaning for me besides James T. Kirk.
Oh, of course.
And Tiberius from ancient times.
Oh, he's beautiful.
That's right. There's Skywacket. When he
cool.
passed, he was 33 years old.
Aw. Adorable.
His seizures, so his last one kind of like.
Aw.
And right there's Talon.
Well, yeah, they're adorable. Well, I think I mentioned our two babies there in my avatar. The one on the left is Moon Pie. We basically got her after Suzanne and I officially moved back here to Canada permanently. So she was our first baby cat. She's not the first one we shared. We shared some other kittens and stuff before that, and including her 15-year-old Lucky, that passed away unfortunately a few years ago. Yeah, but Moon Pie we've had for 7 years, and she's the most adorable. We found out on our own that both these black Persian cats also have another kind of breed in them. For example, Moon Pie has a bit of Abyssinian. Those Egyptian cats.
Yeah.
She's got poses just like that and acts just like that. And she goes after lots of bugs like cockroaches and ants and things like that. She's all about that, being a huntress. And then the other one, our other beautiful daughter, is Deja Vu. And yes, she was named right after the cat you see in the first Matrix movie that's walking in the hallway. It's the exact one. I mean, she's a little bit heavier, which is fine. That's because not only is she Persian, but she also has a bit of Mancoon. And those Mancoon kitties are like, they're big. And I mean, and that's natural for them. And she is a major. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Very big.
Yeah, they're pretty big. And so Deja Vu is the major huntress. She's already cleared us out of 4 mice in our apartment. Killed them all.
Nice.
Yeah. Snapped their necks. Put them at the foot of the bed, even one on top of the bed. And even Moon Pie's been able to knock off a couple herself. So, that's our best pest control right there, is both our babies, Yeah.
Pest control to me.
Pest control. natural pest control. Yep. No harmful byproducts. Nothing has to be sprayed in here. Our cats are the best pest control killers in the world. So, yep.
And it could be the
So what's the
snacks
have
too.
logo? Yes.
May not may sound morbid, but it has been done.
Yeah, right.
Well, Mikey, I asked her this. I'll ask you this as well. How do you choose? I know your community is kind of a subset in a way of the one that I prowl around in myself. How do you choose amongst all these incredible creators? How do you choose which ones you're going to watch? Is there any method to the madness? Because I've been trying to kind of figure out myself how I can juggle supporting so many wonderful people. Do you have any recommendations or thoughts on that?
Yes, I do in a way. I guess it's you're proud of the channel. Suzanne and I are very proud of the channel we've created so far. We feel like it can go it can go up upwards. It can't go anywhere else but upwards and succeed and be a part of a ever growing and burgeoning community of wonderful creators that enjoy what they do. Because if they enjoy streaming, that is kind of the method of my madness. Is I look for those creators, like I said, mentioned before, that have similar taste, and they're actually kind of bold and daring creators. They're a bit, I would say, they're probably a bit more bold and daring than me, but than me and Suzanne. But that's okay because I mean we're still growing and but we're learning from them. See, I feel like the best channels to look for as recommendations are the channels you're going to learn from or the ones that you admired back in the day. Like, for example, I have a playlist of In Search Of with Leonard Nimoy. And
Nice.
I have all six, yeah, and I have connection to all 6 seasons of that. And I was like, and I'm already, when it comes to binge watching, I am binge watching. So, I
Man,
watched the first 3 seasons, and I'm working on season 4 right now. And next year, I'm planning to do a whole segment about In Search Of and all the and also not only that, but I'm also hoping to work on updating those stories in some way. So what I do is I'll do
that would be
research, I'll look through
fun.
them. Yeah, like say for example, we'll take the Amelia Earhart story when she disappeared with Fred Newton back in 1937.
Right.
Well, there was a couple of theories even back in the 70s that they were floating about what happened to her and Fred. They could have crashed right into the ocean. They could have been caught by the Japanese. Amelia might have been a spy for an early spy for the American government, checking out Japanese positions in the Pacific theater before Japan hit Pearl Harbor. So
I've heard that. Yeah.
there's a whole there's a whole, I guess the best word is there's a whole kit caboodle of theories. And so what I'll do is just look up through Wikipedia, do some other research, and see what I can find. But as of yet, they haven't been able to find the plane. The plane's still missing, and I think by now, since it disappeared in 1937, and we're talking 87 years, 87 years, 2024, yeah. So I'm sure by now that plane is either completely dissolved or there's just a few parts of it left somewhere near the island where they were last spotted. Because they were spotted. I mean, they saw them flying to the island at one point, and it was clear, which was Howland Island. And they last broadcast they got was they were near that area, and then all of a sudden it all dropped off. So whatever happened had to have been pretty severe because you can't just have a plane disappear out of nowhere unless it did decide to crash. If something had happened internally in the plane, it would have just dropped out of the air completely and probably would have gone into the ocean or crashed onto the island itself if they were anywhere close to it, like on the beach or the surf or whatever. Yeah, it's really fascinating, and they're just there's just so many theories, like I said, that are out there, but it's high time that somebody find that plane, or at least that they can find, because I'm sure there's still skeletons of the two pilots, there, a co-pilot, the pilot and co-pilot. So if those are still around, if they're existing, I hope to God one day that they do find them and make it full closure, because
Yeah.
it hasn't been closed. I mean, it's still open. I mean, she is still missing, and Fred's still missing, Noonan, and I mean, like, yeah, it's crazy. I mean, they're just it's just a lot of
It's
things. So right,
yeah, it's wild the number of cases. Like we still
yeah,
don't know who or like as far as I know, I don't think we've discovered. I know there's speculations, but we don't know who Jack the Ripper is. That's wild. You would have
yeah.
thought it would have been solved, but
Or the skyjacker, one of the first skyjackers, DB Cooper. Where the
yeah,
hell's
Yeah.
that guy?
yeah.
I mean,
Well, I don't have any of that money.
No,
I,
neither do
right.
Okay,
I
never
don't even
mind.
own it.
The
I
joke
don't have
did
any
come.
relatives. Yeah. And what
Thinking
about?
about
And here, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Connie.
think about it this way, like Doctor Who would say, it's a fixed point in time. Probably we'll never find out what's going on.
Yeah.
Oh, sure. And what about what about the that nasty guy from World War II from Germany? We won't say his name, but anyway, you never had any proof that he died in a bunker with
Right.
the other lady. You don't have that proof. For all you know, they could have been substituted. Both of them. With two other people that maybe were lookalikes and carbon copies, and then they moved down to Argentina or someplace, and then they died there. So, yeah, you don't know. And the other one that fascinates me is, if I mentioned it to you folks before, I'm originally from San Francisco, California, and
Oh,
the big
okay.
thing that stands out there is Alcatraz on Alcatraz Island. I've been on the
Mm.
island. I actually can cross that off my bucket list. It is haunted. Yeah, body doubles, exactly. Yeah, it is haunted. But for somehow, some way, three guys, which they did in a movie recreation, Escape from Alcatraz with Clint Eastwood, which is still a great film. Um, you know, three prisoners, the Anglin brothers and one other gentleman, all somehow got off the island and survived. And to this day, they're still wanted by the FBI. I mean, people are still hunting them down. But until they find out where they were, if they did in fact escape, or until they find bones laying on a beach somewhere, still there, bleached bones and do a DNA test and prove it's them, they're still missing and they're still wanted. So yeah, someone would have found them. Yeah, I guarantee somebody would have found them. Well, you know what's weird? Going back to that Putin real quickly, just for the Putin, the DB Cooper situation. What happened was there was this young boy and his dad. They were walking the beach, and the boy found some, one of the backpacks, like part of it, because remember he took a parachute, he took a couple, packs that had the money, and he found some of those tendered bills, because they were all marked, right? I mean, when he took the money, so.
Mhm.
He did find some of that on the beach, but that doesn't prove that when DB Cooper jumped out that he died. Because then they would have found the body nearby, and they didn't. So, what does that say? Like I said, there's just so much going on. It's crazy. Oh, it was solved in Loki season 2. Okay, well,
That is probably true.
it could be. Yeah, you don't know. It could be.
Surprised.
Oh, I think Loki did it. That's what I think.
Oh, maybe. Yeah, he could have pulled it off himself. But then again, we're still talking about a, supervillain fantasy series. Not bad theories, though, but I mean, just,
Darth
Oh, hey, Darth
Plato.
Plato. Hey,
How are you doing?
how you
I
doing?
know.
Oh, so yes, we've been talking to Connie Cleary and Mikey Susie 4, talking about their YouTube creator journeys, and me, I'm just trying to figure out which end is up. Yes, I knew it. I knew it, Putin. I knew that you were him. And now your evil plot has been foiled. Tinfoiled.
And now he's been revealed.
Why, wait, if Putin's the bad
Wait,
guy,
cover
why
up.
am I the one doing the evil laugh? I don't know.
Even the
We need
There
to
you
do a
go.
lame radio play someday. That's what I think. Get 8 or 10 of the community together and
do a
some
radio
kind of
play. Yes.
bizarre radio play. I don't know what it would. Connie Cleary here is actually the expert when it comes to the radio stuff. We were talking about that earlier.
Oh, sweet.
She listens to. Well, I'll let her tell. What all kind of radio plays do you listen to and present?
I love listening. There's a lot between Holmes, the CBS.
Mm-hmm.
I grew up with the Shadow Nose. I love the
Yeah.
Shadow Nose. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, got Spooky. Yeah, Johnny Dollar. Even on the comedy side, like Burns and Allen,
Yes.
Fibbergy and Molly. Everything. So I'm a moderator on Dino's channel, the Late Late Horror Show. So
Yes, I've seen that. That is so awesome. I like that Late Horror Show. Yeah, I have seen that. That
Dino
is
has
cool.
great context, and I know you've seen the library he has on what
Yes.
he does.
Yes.
It's extensive. He's at 137K right now,
Oh wow.
and within 5 years, it got to that
Yeah, there
point.
it is. The Late Horror Show. Yeah, he's oh my gosh, he's got so much good stuff there.
And he has a wonderful picture of Vivian Lee.
Oh yeah, that's a pretty gorgeous picture of her in the early years. Yeah. Well, I mean, we finally bought. Oh, I'm sorry. I just want to say we finally bought, Gone with the Wind, the remastered. But yes, I mean, like all full colorized, but done right. I mean, done correctly. Not like the Turner thing. It's it was treated with kid gloves and done right. So that's the version we own is of Gone with the Wind. Yeah,
Well,
it's beautiful.
I hope I'm not mistaken, but I think Gone with the Wind, they were trying to be the first real true color movie because they'd done experiments with color before, but they were usually just a few shots or a couple of minutes or something.
Yeah.
But I guess they were beaten by just a little bit by, or maybe it's the other way around. No, it's the other way around. If my memory is right, The Wizard of Oz was trying to be the first true color movie because you remember they were black and white until they went to Oz, and they were wanting that to be the dramatic reveal of this new color system. But Gone with the Wind beat them, if I remember right, by just a little.
It only beat them by a year. Well, actually, okay. Wizard of Oz came out 1939. Gone with the Wind, I believe, came out the following year, 1940. So, yeah, just by a year, Oz basically beat him to the punch and said, oh, hey, guess what? We're going to do The Land of Oz in full color. So, because don't forget, back in 1937, 2 years before, the jazz singer was one of the first, with the irrepressible, what was his name? Louis Armstrong? I don't know if it was Louis Armstrong, but anyway, no, Al Jolson.
Al Jolson,
right. So that was one of the very first colorized, even if it was in a small venue of a film like that. That was only 2 years before. So this thing that they put out for Oz is fascinating because
Mm-hmm.
like you said, you got black and white. I mean, you got Miss Gulch and and all of them in a black and white setting, and then you enhance them and turn them into color, and oh my gosh, it's like a whole other world. And yeah, I mean, those are the kind of things that I really, really enjoy. Um, and oh well, I don't know about soft porn, Putin, but yeah, you have
Yeah,
to be
right.
committed.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
don't want no soft porn with me in it, at least unless I'm just an extra in the
No.
background of a restaurant or something.
Okay, yeah,
Well, you can't.
I don't look too good at the age of 59. Yeah, you don't
I
look.
guess we ought to be careful because I know YouTube doesn't like that word. Prone, whatever it is.
Yeah, prune. Yeah.
Common model is movie reactions. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
He's
mean,
right.
you do movie reactions, but you don't really show any. I don't think. At least I haven't seen you show any of the actual movie. You might show some photos or something, but I don't think I've ever seen you show any of the
No,
actual film.
I get. You know what I like about setting up? Well, especially webcams. I like the live reactions. I love how people can actually, be able to post emojis and truly express. I think that's wonderful. And just how they truly are feeling at that moment in time, to put something out like that. Yeah, and to me, that's fine. The live reaction is totally fine. Um, you know, and I want you to react. You know what I'm saying? Because, like I said, if you think I'm foolish or something, let me know because I
Yeah,
can, I can definitely cut back on what I say, and just post things because now I know how to do that thing where you can present and share from another
yeah.
channel. I can do
Isn't
that
that
too.
fun?
It's so much fun.
That's one of the reasons why I use StreamYard is because I don't know how to do that with any of the other programs yet. Maybe when
Well,
I
I
figure it
can't.
out, but
Yeah, I can't. Connie, have you ever used Restream.io?
Not yet.
Okay, well, I'll tell you, it's a lesser form of StreamYard. And yeah, there are a few things you can do there, but you can't do what you do with StreamYard. When you show other channels, or just show something you want to demonstrate and display,
Mm-hmm.
for the chat to see. Yeah, StreamYard is the best when it comes to that because you can just pick and choose what you want. You don't even have to to follow a set guideline. You can just pick out anything and then just put it up there. It's very cool. It really is. Yeah, OBS can show any web page window. That's true, Putin. That's
yeah,
true.
I
Uh,
need to play with it some one of these days. But I
yeah,
keep
me too.
just going through with the old reliable StreamYard because it's it has some glitches once in a while, but it's so user friendly.
Yeah.
There it is. So I don't know. Did you need to go soon, Connie, or do we have a few more minutes that we can chat and maybe
No,
wrap
you
up?
got two
Or
more minutes before I have to head out.
okay. Well, let's
So,
go
yeah.
ahead.
Yeah,
Let's
go ahead,
maybe.
Connie. Yeah.
You
Well,
sure?
if you want, thank you very much for showing up. I'm glad that you were here. I think it was fun learning about the radio plays, the birds, and I'm having a senior moment. I'm sure there's a clever way to end the conversation, but thank you very much for being here. Thank you for all the moderation and all the things that you do. I know there's so many people that appreciate you. It's one of the reasons why I wanted to have you on here because one of my shticks is to shine what attention I can on people in the background, as it were, the people that other people, like stunt people or something. People make other people look so good, and I think you're one of those people. So thank you very much for being on my humble show.
Thank you so much for
Yes,
having me.
You're
Oh, of
welcome.
course, Connie. And Miss Connie, you are always welcome to visit our channel. And But I want to ask a favor. You're very familiar with lemon pie, as I'm sure all of us are.
Yeah.
He is a fixture of the community. Uh, I want to see if you can persuade him. I'm going to try myself somehow, but I want this guy to come on just for one big interview and have him tell us most of his life and let us know what he's about, what he's about. And because he has this fear, he's a little bit shy and he doesn't want to be up on a panel. And I told them if I call him Sir Lemon or I call him Sir Lemonade. Gorilla's Random Thoughts calls him Scurvy because it's out of love, just like pirate scurvy. It's like,
I get, that's what I figured.
Exactly. Yeah.
Is that the?
Hopefully, I can. If I can, I hope I can. I'll see what he says. Maybe.
Right.
If you
use your means,
maybe I go on with them. If
sure,
it might
you
help
could.
out.
Yes, that'd be perfect. I mean, like, I could do a stream. Have Mr. Curtis join us as well.
Yeah.
And we can get you, Connie, and Lemon both up there on a panel, just the four of us, and we can interview what we'd like to call the master moderators. That's what you and Lemon do. You cover so many channels. I mean, I can't even begin to count them all because I see you on just about everything.
Yeah.
Every other place I go to, you guys are there. And I said, you know what? That's why you and Lemon, especially as moderators, are special because I put Lemon Pie above all others to run our stream. And Jay Aldridge, my buddy who lives down in Louisiana, agreed as well. He says, Lemon Pie is one of the best moderators online right now. And I said, well, don't forget Connie Cleary. She's also she's like Lemon.
Good.
That basically the female equivalent. And he says, yes. So make sure you moderate Connie also. I said, oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, and I believe I did, didn't I? I think I already added you.
Yeah, you did.
As moderator. Yeah, I did. So, because I trust you because we trust you implicitly as well as we do for Lemon. So, yes.
Yeah, I can't remember if it was Connie or Lady Mist. One of you is my executive moderator.
Could it be Lady V Elements?
Or it could be Lady V Elements. Yeah, I have kind of lost my mind. She's good too, but for some reason she's not been around for a while, and
I hope she's okay.
Sure. I've been wondering about her. So. Say what?
I've been wondering about her. Where has she been?
You know,
I don't know. I'm worried about her too. I don't know.
I talk with her.
Lemon. Yeah.
I talk with her just enough that if I open my mouth, I would sound stupid. But I do. I worry about her. But hopefully she's okay. Hopefully she's okay.
I hope so too.
It's been a while since I've seen her because I know she was in Staccarazzi there for a while with.
Yes. Yeah, and that's where I'm worried. The rest of it, I could whatever. But she was so keen on, playfully, not flirting more or less innocently with Steven.
Well, I know.
But she doesn't show there much very more. And like I say, I know a few things that make me speculate, but not enough to actually, even if I wouldn't say anyway, because it's her story to tell, whatever it is.
Sure.
But I hope she's okay. And if not, I hope she knows she can reach out and even though, exactly.
Yeah. Well, I know in most of our streams, there are three main ladies that I know that Lemon loves to flirt with. One, of course, is Lady V Elements. Another one is Spicy Peach, and then there's Lady Mist. And I mean, and then of course the other one is Suzanne Eckstein, and Suzanne Eckstein knows my Suzanne. So, I mean, those are the ladies that usually flirt. with Lemon or hanging out with him when it comes to live streaming, panels, things we do every once in a while. So, and a lot of them were there for, like I said, for my wonderful wife's birthday earlier this month. So, yeah, it's just a lot of fun, and to see them, flirt back and forth it just adds to the fun of the channel. It really does, and it's playful banter, right? It's it's platonic, strictly platonic, not too romantic or anything, but it's just so much fun, and I like to acknowledge it. Like I said, I try my ultimate best to acknowledge every single person in the chat because every single person is special, every single person is unique, and they bring something to the table. And I think that they can only enhance the channel even more. And as I've said before, this channel is about you guys and girls.
Mm-hmm.
It's all about you. It's not about us. It's not just about us. It's not a product either. It's out of love. We put this channel out of love out there for all of you to enjoy it. I mean, and if you do, that's why we just say hit the like button. And if you don't have to do anything. We don't force you.
Exactly.
Yeah. Like hostesses? Yes. Yes, Putin, exactly. You should come more to our streams when we do live stuff, Putin, because I know you're subscribed. You should come because when we get into a really good chat, we start talking about stuff, pop culture and things like that. The ladies that are there, they're so much fun. And I mean, they just, and of course my wife adds to it because she loves to every once in a while wave and say hello and, and poke in which is totally fine. Oh, and speaking of people that are also hanging out like Putin, JPRPH1.
Hey, there. How are you doing? And yeah, I hope they did. I had fun. Now, they may be on their side going, when is he going to shut up? But yeah, I had a lot of fun with it.
Which stream?
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
all good.
It's all good. It's all good, Putin. Yeah.
It's all part of a conspiracy to bring Putin down. Because we know that you really are Putin. This is all part of your scheme to take over the Ukraine. We know the truth.
Well, I'll tell you this much. This is one of the greatest things about these panels is because Miss Cleary is so into birds, which is awesome. And then my wife and I are so into cats, which is also awesome. But this is probably one of the few times that you'll definitely agree birds and cats can live together without trying to kill each other. So,
right.
Exactly.
Yeah. And I know Putin's cat. We all of us, have our egos, and sometimes people just feel kind of poked. And I'm not going to try to speak for Thade because that's his story to tell too. But sometimes people misunderstand what's said in the chat. Heck, sometimes I misunderstand what's said in the chat.
I agree.
You can't get the voice inflections or the nuances. So, there's different ways to read different things. And I just suggest we all keep trying to respect each other. And I'm not saying we have to walk on eggshells and be too guarded about what we say, but we just have to all be respectful of each other. And I know. And I understand that, Putin's, because I really meant what I said in my last stream. When I was younger, I was a pedantic blankety blank, and I wanted accuracy, and I would challenge what people said. And there is a time and a place for that. There really is.
Right.
But as I've gotten older, if you're obviously throwing out a bunch of BS, then yeah, I may call you out on it. But if it's just a vague inaccuracy, as long as it doesn't have much to do with the topic at hand, I often just let it go. And thank you, Connie Cleary. I'm hoping she's okay.
I hope so too.
Oh
And
yeah,
yeah,
I
Fukushima.
I caught that, and I talked to Thade backstage. Not that I have authority over him. Don't think it was that kind of a talk, but I pointed out to him that you've lived in Japan, and you have a knowledge about Japan, and you have a soft, maybe not a soft spot, but Japan is a thing to you that is important. So
Yeah.
I understand that.
Yeah,
Oh,
we have a friend who lives in Japan. His name is Tokyo Gaijin, and
oh,
he plays with us. We do trivia games on Saturdays called Jep Nerdy. He's in a tournament with us right now, which I'm also part of, and that usually runs on Saturday nights around 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 o'clock Central, um, with John DeMarco. It's on his channel, and then one of our friends, Professor Brainy Specs. His real name is Jeff Franklin. He lives in Texas. Uh, he's the scorekeeper, and they do a great show every Saturday night. And then on Sundays, there's also a thing called A Question of Trek, and that's really for the geeks in our hearts. That they love Star Trek and other forms of it. Not necessarily the new Trek. Maybe once in a while they will cover something, but mostly it's about the older Trek. A lot of those
yeah.
great stories. And a gentleman who's from England, Conti, is Conti, is really good. He's got two wonderful people, Zoe Kirk Robinson, who has her female partner, and they live in one part of England, and then my buddy Mr. T. Dowd lives in Collingwood, Ontario, Canada, and Suzanne and I both live in Scarborough, which is not too far from Toronto, and he's been around here. Uh,
Are you going to Scarborough Fair? Sorry.
Yeah. Are you going to Scarborough Fair? Parsley, sage, rosemary, and thyme. Yeah, I remember that Simon and Garfunkel song.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
little did I know, yeah. And I mean, I heard that song all those years ago, and little did I know I was going to end up in a town called Scarborough. So, isn't that ironic how life works? It just kind of like ties everything together. Oh yeah, Putin. He spells it with a G instead of a D. Yeah, I knew Daijin was a big guy or a prime minister, but he's a Gaijin. Gaij.
Oh, Gaijin. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's Gaijin. Yeah, he calls himself Tokyo Gaijin. Yeah, yeah. Not Tokyo Daijin. The
does
Gaijin.
his icon look like a pile of poop, or does it, or is it a guy?
It's a guy, but he has Gaijin. Yes, yes. He is a foreign person. He wasn't born in Tokyo. Japan. He moved there. So yes, so that's why he calls himself a Tokyo Gaijin. Right? He's a foreign
that the
person.
channel?
No, that's Gaijin Tokyo. It's
gotcha.
It's a different one. Yeah, if you go to Jep Nerdy, and the way they spell it is JEOP, like in Paul, NERDY. And sometimes he talks in the chat when he's not playing. And not Jeopardy. It's just go ahead and go to John DeMarco's channel. I'll spell that for you. So it's John space and then it's DIMARCO. John DeMarco.
Is that it?
There it is, Jeopardy. Yeah, that's our most recent game we played. That's his channel. I would subscribe to that because he has some. We have some awesome contests there with the Jeopardy games. It's just like the regular Jeopardy game, but done differently in a slight different context. Yeah, and it's very cool. Yeah, it's a very cool channel, and like I said, Tokyo plays there and everything. Yeah, Jin. Yes, Nihon Jin. Right, Nihongo, Japanese language. Yes. See, I have this weird uncanny knack of being able to pronounce other countries' words. It's a gift and a curse. Yeah. So Yeah, Nihongo, Nihonjin, right? Jin person, American, right? But with Gaijin, right? That's a foreign person. Yeah, very good, Putin. Yeah, Putin's cat. Yeah, Putin has a very beautiful cat there too. Very adorable. Yeah.
And he will take over the world, and he will put all of the world under cat.
Yes,
Sorry.
comrade. He will take that cat, and cat will come.
Ah,
Cat
Tovarish.
will rule world. Like Boris and Natasha will be servants.
Yes.
Or Squirrely Moose.
I don't know, Natasha. I might serve her, but anyway, irregardless, um, I sadly am getting tired. I hate to say it, but
Put a
do we
fork
have
in you.
any? Oh, I'm just wearing out, chronic
Yeah, I
fatigue,
get
all
it.
that crap. It would be cool to get that cat animated and have that cat do some movie
Oh,
reviews, and I think
totally.
that would be the bomb. That
Yes.
maybe I'm wrong. Maybe we still need to do some other shenanigans to get your channel to explode. But a talking cat reviewing movies would be the thing. I think would be
I
one of the
agree.
things.
That sounds like a lot of fun. But don't forget, you got to have the birds. Uh, if there's any possible way of reviving the body of Alfred Hitchcock, I definitely want him to run birds and have the birds run one part of the earth and the cats run the other part. That would be so
Gotcha.
much fun. Let's
Yeah.
see.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would. Yes.
Well, do we have any last words on our tombstone? What, Connie Cleary? Do you? What are you going to be doing next?
I just
I scared her
try to
away.
do more
Oh,
videos, whatever I can. I just posted another one up not that long ago.
Oh, cool.
sweet,
It's
sweet.
a little yellow Quaker baby that I'm a social director for the pet shop that I've been going to for decades.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
And I'm still middle of doing other videos I'm still trying to work on still. So
Is that on your original channel or is? Oh, I think I see it here. Hold
yeah,
on. I'll at least share it.
yeah, the bird is on my first one. For the second channel is I'm still working on the video still.
Gotcha. So is this it? The baby Quaker?
Yeah, that's it.
All right.
Oh, oh, that's beautiful. That's a beautiful. Is that still a form of parrot?
Yeah, it depends on how you. It could be a Quaker parrot, Keats,
Uh-huh.
monk parrot. All depends on how it's listed
I
when
see.
you look it up.
Because it could be, yeah, it could be a form of a tweeter type bird, like a chick, right? But it's like a parrot chick.
Yeah,
It's kind of
yeah.
cool.
In certain
Yeah.
states, they're illegal.
Right.
In other states, like Ohio, you have to have a band around their foot
A band around their foot. Yeah.
and
Okay.
flight feathers clipped. In other
Oh, okay.
states, you have to have a permit.
Yes.
In certain other things, but some states you don't have to worry about any of that. You just like owning a dog or a cat or whatever.
Yeah, I see. Yeah. But I mean, it looks beautiful. The parrot looks wonderful. My mother is a form of a bird person. She lives down in Scottsdale, Arizona, with my dad, and they're all about the hummingbirds down there, the cardinals. You know, the cardinals that fly around. In fact, my mother has always said when she sends a red cardinal up here, that's her messenger bird. That's the one that's watching over me and Suzanne and wondering what we're up to. And once in a while, we do see an occasional red cardinal we have gardens that are right across the street from us, near our apartment complex, and they have some cardinals that every once in a while will be flying around there, and it's really rare. But when you see one, we definitely know that's my mother checking up on us. So it's cool. It's some birds are meant to be angelic,
Mhm.
especially, well, I don't know if you, Connie, had, or Curtis, if you've been to Capistrano, in
I have
California.
not,
No.
sadly.
Yeah, well, I've been there. I mean, I was there with my family, and we saw the swallows of Capistrano return, and beautiful. They're just beautiful birds. I just watching them, you know, go up in the roost of the old chapel that's there, the church and everything. Um, my dad took this big picture of the main altar of the church, and it was a miracle because at the time he took it, he didn't have a flash bulb. We didn't have flash bulb camera back then, but my dad took this whole expansive picture of the altar, and the next thing you know, when we got the pictures back, whether it was due to some kind of filter they worked with or whatever, the entire altar was lit up like just sunlight just came in from somewhere. It wasn't. There was no windows. I mean, it's enclosed. It's like an Adobe type church, but the thing is, a true miracle. The whole thing lit up for my dad. So, yeah, it's still amazing. Yeah. Oh yeah, Sound of Music is the funniest. Yes, it is.
Well,
The hills are alive.
I shared Putin's channel because he does have some funny face. He has a lot of funny or some funny face swaps. I'm not saying that his face swaps aren't funny. I don't know
Right.
that he's done a ton of them, but they are funny. But the funniest one, I agree, is the hills are alive with the sound of music, and it's not Julie Andrews' face. Everything else is Julie Andrews, but it's not her face. It's pretty funny.
Yeah,
So,
I've even seen a video where it was Julie, but doing something different, like the hills are oops, and she falls off the mountain. Because I guess the camera comes in too quickly, or just like knocks her over, and she's like, oh, falls down the side of the mountain. Oh yeah,
oh
I've
my
seen that
gosh.
before. Some photoshopping, but it's funny. I mean, just I think even I think I'd even be bold to say that Robot Chicken pulled that off one time, have her fall off a mound or something, trying to sing it. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah, the Teletubbies. Oh my God, they're the freakiest things I'd ever seen in my life. I
Did
would
you ever
not
see
want to
them
run
in
into
red
those
and
things.
white? Pictures?
Yeah,
No.
and you know what they remind me of? Like I said, my wife's really big into horror, and I try to endorse that as well. We have the Banana Splits horror film.
Oh
Uh,
hell.
we oh yeah, and Five Nights at Freddy's. Yep, we've got Five Nights at Freddy's,
Mhm.
the horror film based on that, and I was just like, oh my gosh, yeah. There's just so much there. It's yeah. I mean, if you really like the Banana Splits when you were growing up with Cinema
Oh
Marty Croft,
hell.
and then you watch them in a horror film, mechanical, animatronic, you know, killing machines. Oh my gosh, wow.
I'm not even
This
commenting on
in
the.
in the Yeah, I'm sorry, Connie. I hope I'm not
I'm
scaring
not
you.
commenting on the banana splits because I saw that. Like, I grew up on them.
I know.
Oh hell.
Yeah, yeah. I
They're,
never
they're,
thought they'd be
they're
able to come up with a horror film. Yeah,
yeah. They're doing another Pooh Bear. Blood
yeah.
and Honey.
Right.
Or
It's like
Winnie
a
the Pooh.
murderous version of Winnie the Pooh. Yeah, I heard
There's
about
two
that.
of them now.
Oh my god. Yeah,
Yeah.
I know. Well, and they just did this thing with David Harbour. They're going to bring up another Violent Night. They're going to we own that film too, and I mean, that actually was a very good horror slash Christmassy film. Like I said, with David Harbour as Santa Claus and John Leguizamo as the terrorist, and it even had Beverly D'Angelo in there, from the Vacation. Yeah, I mean, it was insane, but yeah, just a lot of fun. I mean, you're cheering for Santa Claus that whole time, obviously, but he's tired of Christmas. He doesn't want to do it anymore. It's just kind of that typical, oh God, the world is cynical, and I don't want to deal with these people anymore. But then he finds one little gal that's inspired him enough to and she's in danger, so he comes to her aid and helps out the rest of the family from terrorists. And yeah, it's a good story, actually. I thought it would be kind of made fun of, and like a parody and just kind of really bad, but no, it seemed like a real world kind of thing. Yeah. Oh yeah, well, Last Jedi, I don't know if you'd want to compare that, but I see that. But Knives Out by the same director is good. Yeah, Rian Johnson did a great thing with Daniel Craig is a blood relative of my wife.
Oh
Uh,
wow.
yeah, yeah. Her original maiden name was Suzanne Craig, and uh, Daniel is related through her father's side. Her father's name was John Craig. He's passed away now. Rest in peace.
Oh,
Okay.
Him and
I'm sorry about
they've
that.
been gone a while. Him and her original mother Jeanette are both gone. But yeah, but Daniel is related on that side of her family, and they have the same cheekbone, the same jawbone or look, and chin and everything. Yeah, it's great. And Knives Out is fantastic. It's a good mystery comedy. It is. It's actually pretty good.
There's supposed to be a
So
third one coming out.
yeah.
Can't wait to see that.
Oh yeah, that's good too. Yeah, well, we're all waiting to see the big. I'm a big superhero geek, and I wait for Deadpool and Wolverine to come out.
All right,
Yeah.
guys, wait for it.
Yeah, and you can get pre-tickets. I heard that they have pre-sale tickets you can actually buy in
Yeah.
advance. Yeah, yeah.
All right, guys. All right, yeah, all right. Second day went on. I got that's when I went on.
Oh yeah, of course. Well, we saw all three trailers, including the very last one, and I was so happy. I was so happy that Ryan Reynolds defeated the evil Disney Corporation and decided to keep it as an R-rated film, and I was so happy about that. And then, of course, the fact that Hugh Jackman agreed to come back, and I was like, wow, like at the time when he did Logan all those years ago, he actually said, I don't think I'm going to do this franchise again. He says, I don't know if I want to do Wolverine anymore. But somehow, some way, Ryan Reynolds, Canadian, by the way, got Hugh Jackman to come out of retirement and renew his Wolverine. And one of the best scenes in there, it's just like the comic books. And Stan Lee, who passed away, rest in peace, would be so happy. Right, would be so happy to see Wolverine in his yellow spandex from the comics, like
Yeah.
all dressed up. And I was like, oh my gosh, just that's the best part. Is the inner geek in me was just going like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, because I remember Wolverine. It's just reading about him in comic books, and they just recently did that X-Men '97 reboot. We saw the first 10 episodes of that. Me and Raquel SSG 2211.
Yeah, I got to watch a few of those.
And you got
Those
to
were
watch with
really
us. Yeah,
fun.
those are awesome. And I'm not big into animated series, but I am definitely looking for the season 2 to come out on that next year. Yeah,
And the
definitely.
ones I got to see were really well done. And Poops
Oh,
Cat
yeah.
is asking if Hugh I did the longest stint as a character of RDJ, and I'm not sure that I'm smart enough to know who that is.
Robert Downey Jr.
Oh, yeah,
as
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Iron
yeah.
Man. Yeah, yeah. Robert Downey Jr., I think, yes, only slightly, has done his role more than Hugh Jackman as Wolverine. Because if you all remember, the first one that came out was Iron Man, and I believe then the first time we see Hugh is in X-Men. So yeah, if Iron Man came out before X-Men, and I believe it did, then it would be Robert being the longest. Uh, yeah,
I'm looking it up. So there.
yeah, there it is. Yeah, Putin looked it up. Awesome.
Oh, there
Yeah.
you go.
So Robert has been in 10 related Marvel universe, and Hugh has been in 9. Okay, awesome. Yeah, so they will tie once Wolverine does his movie with Deadpool. Yeah. Good call, Putin. Thank you for checking that up on us. Thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate that. I always like to update myself too. Um, hey Connie, well, actually, if you have time, let me ask you guys quickly. Um, do you like to use IMDb's, the movie database every once in a while? I'm kind of find out that there's a few shortcomings, but otherwise, I find it very effective.
Depending on what I'm looking for. If I know the
Yeah.
answer to it, then I text what they have, and like I know that's half true right there on
Okay.
certain things.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Now Putin did verify. Okay. Yes. So X-Men was first, right? But Robert's
Yeah.
been in 10 separate films. Correct. Um. Yeah. Deadpool and Wolverine will be then. We'll tie them. Right. Yeah. He's on my B list for is. I didn't know he acted badly at the Oscars. I'll have to relook at that again. I didn't know he was being bad. Oh, I'm sorry, Putin. Robert Downey's a pretty good guy. Well, you know who else is really a good person is Johnny Depp. Because you got your pirate thing there, Curtis. Well, he goes to children's hospitals and stuff, dressed up as Jack Sparrow, and does stuff for them. So, for cancer patients especially.
Yeah. And
For kids and adults. Yeah.
that YouTuber that what was his name? It wasn't Jack in the Box. It was a kid who had cancer and he wanted to have so many subscribers.
Yeah.
And so Johnny Depp found out about it and went online and basically got it for him. I wish I could remember that kid's name, but he passed away, and that was sad.
Right. Oh, you know what? I know what Putin's talking about. This recent Oscars. Yeah, Robert Downey Jr. did something odd. Yeah, he said he grabbed the Oscar. Yeah, because Robert Downey finally won Best Supporting Actor for his role in Oppenheimer. So when playing Lewis, I can't remember his last name. Well, we have the movie. We just bought Oppenheimer, so yeah. But he played based on a real life. I think his name was Lewis Johnson or something. I don't know. Anyway, he played that character, and so Robert he finally got his first Oscar. That probably would explain why he grabbed it right out of the guy's hand. But I don't know. Would that be considered childish, Connie? Curtis? I don't know.
I could see it being considered childish. Having said that, I would have more respect for it than the Will Smith thing. Although,
Oh yeah.
I do getting upset when somebody's basically taunting your wife. So,
oh yeah, with the
but
Will Smith and Chris
yeah,
Rock thing.
yeah.
Yeah, Louis Strauss. Thank you, Putin. You're awesome. Thank you. Yeah, Louis Strauss. Right. Watching and make up your own mind. I agree. Well, I had a great history teacher in high school, and then I became his teacher's assistant the following year. Junior year was with him, and then the senior year I got to become an assistant and to teach some of his other kids that were coming into his class that had probably knew nothing about history. But I always asked questions. kids nowadays, yeah, I love KE. Don't mess with KE. I agree. Um, Here's the thing. Um, I want to tell children. I just want to let children know. Hey, when you get into higher education, as you get into higher education, there should be two things you need to know. One is be respectful of your teachers because they work hard. They do a lot of research themselves and try to provide the best, safe, and calming and reassuring classroom they can. And it would be to your benefit to be polite and respectful and allow them to teach. And also, if you want to improve on your educational experience, ask questions. Always ask questions. I did that all the time. I didn't just read textbooks and think that's all there was. No, there's more to it than just a textbook. And I would always ask the questions that I thought the textbook couldn't answer for me. That just couldn't provide it. And yeah, it got me through school and then some. And yeah, I just want to, yeah. Well, I don't know if they're pure hormones there, Putin, but yeah, same with the trade schools. I agree, Connie. Yeah, totally. Yeah. Well, any kind of school, really. Yeah. Ask questions.
Yeah, I went
Yeah,
to
don't be
trade
afraid
school
to ask.
myself.
Yeah, go ahead, Connie.
See, I went to trade school myself too, so
Yes. Well, you know, my I have a brother and two sisters. My brother became a teacher, then he became an assistant principal, and then a regular principal.
Cool.
He's been in the education system for a long time. Still teaches. Um, my One of my sisters ended up becoming a substitute teacher for several different grades. She, from grade one all the way up to basically, senior in high schools. And she's taught them. And my other sister got into banking, so she went to special banking courses in banking school and learned how to become a full-fledged trade banker and corporate banker, and she's very successful. So, and for myself, I stuck with customer service. I got my own degree in business, and that got me through for 35 years. So, and how to treat people the right way and kindly and respectful. And hey, I'm proud of that. And now, uh, by the grace of God, I was able to retire early in life. And because I know my dad, he worked till he was 60 and had a heart attack. And I just told him I didn't want to end up that way, without going too much into that. But thankfully, my dad is turning 80 this year. So hope I'll get to see it. Yeah, for sure. But, Putin asked you a question there, Connie.
yeah, I'm going to. Hopefully, I'll be able to do that next year.
Oh, cool.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Granted,
know.
it's been decades since I've been out of school because I'm in my mid-50s.
Yeah, it does get harder when you get into your 50s. I know that.
Oh, now, come on, Connie. You're only 30. Come on.
Now we're
Mine-
all only 30 in here. Didn't you know?
Yeah, but physically,
We're
I'm
happening
feeling
cats.
it.
I
Yeah,
tell
without-
you.
I was gonna say, without going too much into it, like I said, Suzanne had her birthday earlier this month, and now she's the same age as me for at least the next 3 months and 6 days until I turn 59. So we'll go from there. You can do the math. But she doesn't look like her age. I
Oh,
always
that's
say
awesome.
that. It's always true. It's great. I mean, you can have a cherubic face like my wife does, and she does. And I mean, she's saved my life. Um, I don't go too much into that, but let just suffice to say that she has saved my life on several occasions. So I'm very thankful and blessed every day that I have such a beautiful wife that is my partner, my soulmate. Um, you know, the mother of both of our feline babies. It's beautiful. I just love it. I love it. So loving life is a big part of it, and I just want to be able to show some of that love to our fellow chatters, our subscribers, the people that come to our channel. Like I said, it's all about them. It's not just about us. It's all about the people that support you, that like what you display, what you put out, from your channels. Oh, hey, Dead Man Walking.
We have Dad Man Walking in the channel. How are you doing? Dinner actually does sound good.
Oh, yeah.
All right. One last question or two. Putin's Cat is asking Connie, I know I have not. Have you tried Blender? I think it's a computer program for...
I'm just starting to look into things.
Gotcha.
Oh, yeah, she just answered that. Yeah. I'm not into Blender. I've kept myself pretty limited. Besides YouTube and, of course, Facebook, I do tend to go every once in a while on, well, there's two things I call it. I either call it X-Ray by Elon Muskrat, or I call it Twitter Twatter.
Oh.
So, take that how you will, Elon.
I'm leaving that conversation alone on that part. It's too loaded.
Yeah.
I don't want to get Curtis in trouble or anything.
Oh, you already got me in trouble.
Damn it.
Oh man, I have a joke. I have a joke in my head, but I know better than to share it, so I'm just going to keep my mouth shut. It involves being gotten in trouble, but all right. So I love this, but I've really got to call it a stream pretty soon. Either that or leave the studio and just let you two talk. One of the two. Connie, Mikey, do you have any famous last words? Anything you want on your tombstone?
On our tombstone. I will defer to the lady here first, Miss Connie, if you will.
Don't get horse in the mouth.
Too late. Oh, sorry.
No.
Well, if there's, my last word would be, if there's anything, and it's on one of my wife's shirts, and it absolutely is true. If there's anything you want to be in this life, be kind.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
And by the way, this may not mean much to people, but leave everything in God's hands, and that's what she says. She's a minister of the Universal Life Church. My wife is too. So
cool.
That's what she says. So leave everything in God's hands. Anything, just do that. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I am going to call it a stream if everyone's okay with that. So
totally.
Let me get back up here into the chat. I would like to thank, obviously, Connie Cleary. Thank you so much for being here, taking time from at least someone. I'm sure you still did some moderating in the background because you're just that multi-talented, and I envy that. But thank you for taking at least some attention away and sharing your channel creating journey with me. That has been great. Putin's Cat, thank you for coming in here and also sharing some of your creator journey with us. And I know you say that your channel is just simply a fun thing, and that's cool, but you show some talent too. I don't want you to think that I don't see that. And who else have we had? Darth Plato, thank you for showing up. And I just love the Batwoman costume. And I won't make a joke about that either because I've been a pretty good boy today so far. Thank you, Joe PRPH1, for showing up. You're also very supportive, and I thank you so much. Someday we need to talk about music or something else that's in his wheelhouse. And Mikey, thank you very much for showing up. I love your reviews. Thank you very much. And Dad Man Walking, thank you very much for showing up and encouraging us to go on for 24 hours, which 20 years ago I might just have done. Oh, Mark D is on later.
Yeah, Mark D with the
Um,
C.
mhm.
And by the way, can I mention this real quick?
Yeah.
The memorial service, 3 hours plus they had for clobbering times,
Yes.
Mike Alonso, is wonderful and poignant to see. The Dadmans were there, both Mr. and Mrs., along with Andy, Derivative Jill, Mark D with a C, and some other of our wonderful creator friends. So please, if you get a chance and if it's still available, check out Clobbering Times channel and check out the memorial service. It was fantastic. It will tug at your heartstrings, but it did cover a lot about a man that, for me, along with, of course, rest in peace, Gil Revell, our wonderful Cardinal Sin, who passed away last year in October.
Hmm.
Then, of course, comic historian, who was Benny Potter. And then even the Red Shirt. There was a lot of people that have unfortunately have left us, but they did leave a legacy. And follow Tony's channel because Tony is trying to continue the legacy, being there for everyone, as I'm sure these other wonderful creators were. And like I said, be kind, be
Yes.
respectful, follow other people's channels, subscribe to them. Take care of them because that's how Deleted Scenes says it wonderfully. That's how we
Mhm.
win. That's
You
how
got
we
it.
win. Yeah.
All right, I'm going to pretend like I have some skill here when I really don't, and play the spiffy, copyright-free music as we go out. I totally agree. I think that kindness is, I want to believe anyway, I want to believe that kindness is better than disrespect. I want to believe that love is stronger than hate. Possibly I'm wrong, but that is what I try to cling to. I appreciate everyone that's in here. And yes, I also want to point out Connie Cleary is sharing, hope everyone has a great day, much love and peace, and see you on the next stream. And the thing I've been using as an outro, civil discourse, has been that you are not going mad. Don't think that you're going mad. Instead, understand that you are going sane in a world gone mad. So thank you very much, everyone, for showing up. Thank you again, Connie Cleary, Mikey, Susie, and everyone have a wonderful evening. Thank you so much for showing up and being so supportive and kind. Have a wonderful evening.